amazing listeners. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Transform Yourself, the podcast that's all about empowering you to shed those stubborn pounds and embrace your best selves. We are your hosts, Kacy and Tyler, and we use the 4 M's of fitness, mind shift, meal shift, micro habits, and muscle building to create attainable and sustainable weight loss. We have lost a collective 130 pounds. We've kept it off for a couple of years. If you are a fitness enthusiast, maybe you're a beginner, maybe you're just curious about making changes, positive changes, then Transform Yourself is your go-to source for inspiration, information, and a good dose of motivation. I got a question in my DMs literally today that kind of goes along with today's topic, which is TDEE, Total Daily Energy Expenditure. A woman asked me if her TDEE was 1,200 calories, which I thought was kind of low, but
that's very low.
I know, but I try not to judge people and what they tell me in their in my DMs and my messengers. Anyway, she told me that was her calorie output. I don't know exactly how she calculated that. I did redirect her to my calorie calculator, hoping she would go use it. But also she said, oh my gosh, that means I have to burn 1,200 calories a day. Like, this lady thought that she had to go exercise 1,200 calories because she asked me, she said, well, wait a minute, if I'm going to lose weight, that means I have to burn more calories than I eat, right?
Well,
yeah.
That tells
I said
you
yes.
that most people don't have any real understanding of how it works.
And yeah, I said, yeah, you have to burn more calories than you eat. And she said, oh my gosh, I have to burn more than 1,200 calories. And I thought, oh, okay. What she doesn't understand is total daily energy expenditure. She needs to understand that, and the fact that you're actually burning calories by doing nothing. That's your BMR. Yeah. I mean, I guess if
do you think that's a pervasive thought?
I don't know. I guess
that people think that if I eat 1,200 calories a day, I also need to go like exercise off 1,200 calories. Like not realizing that just living burns the vast majority of your calories every day.
I mean, maybe people think that if they eat a 600 calorie meal, they have to stay on the treadmill until it says over 600. Maybe that's what they think. I don't know. But you know what? We're here to dispel all of that right now. And we are going to dive into TDEE, Total Daily Energy Expenditure, and where your calories come, like how you burn calories, what your total calorie output, that's why it's called Total Daily Energy Expenditure. It's the total amount of calories that you expend each day. And you could literally do nothing all day. You could be in a coma and you could burn 60 to 70% of the calories that you need to per day. So let's dive right in. Now, I know that TDEE's Total Daily Energy Expenditure, it sounds like a lot of fancy words, but we are going to break it down. We're going to break it down in a very fun, understandable way. So grab your coffee, your tea, your protein shake, whatever it is, and let's get started. We're going to start by kicking off and let you know that TDEE is your total calories that you burn each day. So I want you to think of it like it's the sum of all the little fires in your body that you have to keep burning in order to keep yourself alive and kicking. And there are 4 main components to TDEE. That is your BMR, your TEF, your NEAT, N-E-A-T, and your EAT, E-A-T. Now that sounds like an alphabet soup. Yes, I get it. But it's not as complicated as it sounds because we're going to take a look into each component. So
are you going to define each one?
I am going to define each one.
Okay.
And there are 4 components of your calories out. So we're going to talk about each one, each component, and we're going to break each down and give an example. So let's start with BMR. That is your basal metabolic rate. That's the number of calories that your body needs to keep you alive, even if you were lying in bed doing nothing all day, absolutely nothing. Even if you're just binge watching your favorite show all day long, your body is still burning calories. In fact, BMR accounts for 60 to 70% of your total daily energy expenditures. So it accounts for 60 to 70% of the calories you burn each day is burned through doing nothing. but you're not really doing nothing.
It's just your body just living.
Yeah.
Your heart pumping, your brain
working. Yeah.
Doing whatever your brain does.
Your body temperature being regulated. All of those things takes calories to do. Your body takes calories to function on the inside. So it takes a lot of calories to function. So we burn 60 to 70% of our daily calories.
Do you think that's
just through living?
Do you think that's like the basis of why people don't get it, is they just don't realize that their body burns a boatload of calories just surviving every day?
I mean, maybe, possibly. And
I've never really thought about it up until recently, I guess, but
yeah, imagine a 40-year-old woman and she weighs 150 pounds. Her BMR might be around 1,400 calories a day. That just means that her body at rest needs to consume at least 1,400 calories per day in order to maintain her weight, not lose weight. So doing nothing all day, you could still eat and still not gain weight, but you would have to eat your whatever your basal metabolic rate is, right? Your BMR. That's what, when people talk about metabolism, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about your basal metabolic rate. That's your metabolism. Fun factors real quick about your BMR. As you get older, your BMR typically decreases. Now, let me tell you why though. There is a reason, and a lot of women constantly, I'm in my late 40s. Now, me too. I'm in my late 40s, or I'm in my 50s or even 60s, and my metabolism is just not what it used to be. There's a reason for that, ladies. It's because you've lost muscle. Your muscle will keep your metabolism, your BMR, higher. Your muscle burns more calories at rest than fat. So if you strength train and you mitigate muscle loss as you age, then your BMR should stay fairly high. Mm-hmm. And that is the reason that as we age, most people have a BMR that decreases because they lose muscle. Men typically have a higher BMR than women, but that's also typically because men have a higher muscle to fat ratio than women. There's that reason. It has everything to do with muscle.
Is there a bigger drop off for men because they have more muscle to lose?
Great question. I'd have to look that one up. I want a graph of that.
I would
I don't know.
It makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I just thought of it.
If you want to boost your BMR, then building muscle is key. Muscle tissue burns more calories than fat, even at rest. So don't be afraid to lift heavy weights. And stay hydrated. Staying hydrated, think of water as the oil that keeps your engine running smoothly. So drinking water can also help boost your metabolism. Mm-hmm. All right, so that was component number one. The BMR is the first component of your total
TDEE.
daily energy expenditure, calories out. And if you're thinking about a pie graph, then think about 60 to 70% of that pie graph, more than half of it is your BMR. So that's quite a big chunk of your total calories. So the next one is your next component, TEF. This is called thermic effect of food. And your TEF, this is the energy your body uses to digest, absorb, and process the food that you eat. It's like the calorie burning bonus that you get just for eating. Your TEF, thermic effect of food, makes up about 10% of your total calories out. So whereas BMR was 60 to 70%, your TEF is 10% of that big pie graph in your mind. Different foods require different amounts of energy to digest. So let's break this down. We all know that what you eat is made of 3 macros: proteins, carbs, and fats. And protein, gotta love protein. Prioritize that protein, people. Protein burns about 20 to 30% of the calories you consume just through digestion. So if you are eating 100 calories of chicken, about 20 to 30 calories are used just to digest that chicken. That is a big deal. Carbs are going to burn about 5 to 10%. So 100 calories of rice will use about 5 to 10 calories of that for digestion. And fats burn 0 to 3%. So 100 calories of avocado will use between 0 to 3 calories to burn during digestion.
Mm-hmm.
So protein is a big deal because just by filling your plate with protein, which is going to also help you mitigate muscle loss, which helps your BMR, the first component we talked about, protein also will help you burn more calories because you're going to burn more calories just through the digestion of the protein.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so for like the people who do the meat only diets or meat heavy diets, it just kind of works in their favor.
I mean,
like
it really does.
If they're eating in a deficit.
Yeah.
Because in the end, if you're eating grass-fed ribeyes all day or you're eating donuts all day and you're eating under your calories, you will lose weight.
Correct.
But if you're eating meat, well, that's a much better life. But
this is where I disagree.
Than eating donuts all day?
Oh, well, I thought you meant eating meat all day and only like eating carnivore.
No.
Okay, so you're not saying that.
As much as I love meat, I don't know if I could do that. That sounds
yeah, I am anti-carnivore diet. I'm also anti-keto diet. I'm also
anti-diet.
Well, I'm not anti-diet because
I hate anti-fad diet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fad diet.
Like
yeah.
It's whatever's on the cover of Us Weekly this month.
Yes.
Like it's all they work
Yes.
because they put you into a deficit because you're restricting. You're overly restricting. That's all it really means.
Let's take a meal that includes chicken, rice, and avocado. All three of them. So if that meal is 500 calories total, approximately 50 to 75 of those calories are going to be burned off just from digesting that food. And that is pretty cool. Now, that does not mean you can go ahead and subtract that from your total calories don't do that. Don't go do funny math. Count it
or
if
add
you're
back. Or add back.
Or add back. Don't do any of that. Don't do funny math. Count the calories as the calories. Make sure you're staying in a calorie deficit if you want to lose fat over time. Yeah.
And if you're a person who's doing that and maybe they're particularly ravenous, eat a little bit more. Up a portion size of your meal. Like you don't have to, because I know you've had clients in the past that come back and say, "Oh, do I need to add back
calories for exercise?"
Yeah, or no, because I thought I remember wasn't there one person that was talking about adding back the thermic effect of food calories?
No, I think that was a podcast I had listened to that I was talking about.
Which is still which is still crazy.
Which is crazy that somebody had to know. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of funny math, and nobody wants to do that math. If you're not even calculating or tracking calories accurately, then you definitely have no business looking into the percentage of your steak that was burned through digestion. Anyways, in order to maximize TEF, just make sure that you're including plenty of protein into each meal. You should do that anyways. Think lean meats, fish, eggs, even plant-based proteins like lentils. Don't skip those. Just prioritize protein with every meal and snack if you want to. All right, so we're moving on to the third component of TDEE. The third component, that big pie graph that we're thinking about, that is your NEAT. NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And this can be around 15% of your total calorie output for the day. And this is all the calories that you burn from the activities that are not formal exercise. So think of things like walking through the grocery store, fidgeting, doing chores around the house, gardening, dancing in your kitchen while you cook dinner. We did a podcast recently, a couple episodes ago, about NEAT. Feel free to go listen to that one. And how you get movement in throughout the day can really make a giant difference in your total calorie output. If you're somebody who works a desk job, but you take the stairs instead of the elevator, you walk to the coffee shop instead of driving, you have
park in the back of the parking lot.
Right, park in the back of the parking lot. You have dance parties in your kitchen. Those activities.
How many dance parties happen?
I mean, I have dance parties in the kitchen. You don't?
No.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry that you're living a life dance party free.
No.
Oh, well, you'll have. I'll invite you to my next one. All of these activities can significantly increase your daily calorie burn. Some fun ways to boost your NEAT. I just gave you a couple of examples, but yeah, park farther away from the store entrance. Stand and walk around while you're talking on the phone. Do chores like vacuuming and gardening and washing the car. You do that. You do a lot of the washing of the cars. And make sure if you have a desk job to stand at your desk or take regular stretch breaks, move around, walk around the hallways, deliver things.
Bottom line, you need to move.
Yeah, that's it. Just get up and move.
Set a time every hour. Go walk around. It's so dumb. You just move. Like you don't need like this weird thing. Just get up and move. Go for a walk. Do stuff in the house. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that.
And the last component, number 4, the fourth component of the pie would be your EAT, exercise activity thermogenesis. And this is only about 5%. It could be up to 10%, but it's around 5 to 10% of your total calories throughout the day burned. That is your exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the energy that you expend during intentional exercise. Like if you go on a run or you go to a exercise class, you take yoga, you get on a treadmill, you ride your Peloton bike. These are all things that are intentional exercise. Playing pickleball, again, that would be part of your EAT, exercise activity thermogenesis. And this is the part where it's so funny because your intentional exercise is the smallest piece of the pie graph of your total calories out for the day. Yet, people put all their eggs in that basket. It's like, it's wild to me that people try to out-exercise a bad diet. And it's an undertaking that unless you're an athlete, it's probably not going to ever happen for you.
Even then,
right?
If you're burning 5,000 calories a day, that's probably not particularly difficult to eat if you're eating very dense food.
If you're an athlete, yeah.
If you're eating very dense food.
So don't put all your eggs in the basket of your aerobics class that you're doing or getting on your Peloton or your treadmill. That's not where it's at. You're not going to outrun a bad diet ever. I do want you to, I don't want you to not do exercise. However, strength training is part of intentional exercise. And so why should we even exercise? If it's only 5 to 10% of your calorie output per day, why do we even have to do that then, right? Well, here's why. Because it comes full circle. Strength training is the type of exercise I program for my clients because what that does is it builds muscle. And what does muscle do? It increases your BMR. That's the 60 to 70% piece of the pie that is going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. Muscle building is where it's at when it comes to sustainable forever fat loss. So it does kind of come full circle. So let's sum it up real quick. Your TDEE, it's made of 4 parts. Your BMR, basal metabolic rate, that was the 60 to 70%. Your TEF, thermic effective food, that's the digestion. NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, that's just your daily movement, walking around, walking through the grocery store. And your intentional exercise, which is your EAT, exercise activity thermogenesis. And by understanding those components, you can make small changes in your life to help boost your overall calorie burn. Eating a balanced diet is definitely key to fat loss. And I would say that diet is your driver of fat loss. So calories in is super duper important. We want to definitely try, if you're brand new at fat loss, you want to calculate your calorie deficit, go to thecaloriedeficitqueen.com, click on the menu where it says getting started, and you'll find a calorie deficit calculator there and a protein goal calculator. They're free. Go calculate that and pay attention and track. And Pay attention to your calorie input. Make sure that you are in a calorie deficit, but don't feel like you have to have this all or nothing mentality where you're going to try to burn 1,000 calories a day in order to have fat loss occur. I can tell you right now, nobody's going to do that consistently unless it's your job to do it, which again, unless you're an athlete, you're not doing that consistently. It's not something you can keep doing forever. Then why try it now? Habits that are small, habits that you can keep forever, those are the ones that we want to implement. But imagine a woman who is in their 40s and she's looking to lose weight, and by understanding her TDEE, she realizes that while her workout sessions are great, she can also boost her calorie burn just by increasing her activity, her daily movement, getting up from her desk. She can increase her calorie burn just by including more protein in her diet. So this woman, she starts taking the stairs more often. She adds a short walk after dinner. She includes more lean protein in her meals. And those small changes, those are the small changes that are going to help her see progress without feeling overwhelmed. And that is how your TDEE can help you. And let's not forget that laughter also burns calories. So surround yourself with things and people that make you smile and make you laugh. I hope you found that this deep dive into TDEE was helpful, and I hope it helps you make some smart changes in your life to get you to your goal. If you're looking for weight loss resources, maybe you need to calculate your calorie deficit or protein goal, or maybe you want some low-calorie cookbooks, you can find all things at thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Transform Yourself. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a review, share with the love. And until next time, keep shining, keep smiling, and keep transforming yourself.
Adios.